I remember one of them, and listen, there's a bunch of them, but there's one of them where Garth has a private jet.
I'm saying, talking about 200 plus murders? Garth Brooks? Nah.
So this is when he was. Do you remember when he tried
No.
out to be like a? I
Ain't no
forget
way.
what the team was, the Yankees or the Cubs. You know, oh, multiple times he's tried out to play baseball. Wants to be a baseball star. He can't make the team, but he keeps donating money for them to give him a chance. Like, hey, here's $3 million to this charity. Let me try out. You know, so he goes down to where Fort Lauderdale or wherever, and he tries
Yeah.
out. So, and one of these places flies us the private jet in. It's parked at the airport. He's playing. A guy ends up missing, and the guy's car, Steven? So the guy's car ends up in long-term parking at the airport. I mean, pretty odd. The guy ends up disappearing here next to the stadium where he's playing, and his car ends up in the long-term parking right next to where Garth's private plane is.
Whoa.
And look, there's a bunch of them. Look, when I say a bunch, there's 200 here, right? There's 200. There's some of them, take 7 or 8 of them that are pretty. You're like, wow, that's pretty interesting that like in the parking lot across the street from the stadium here, somebody ends up disappearing. You start adding them all up. And granted, it's confirmation bias. You could do the same thing with Madonna, right? She's got 1,000 tour dates. You could obviously, I could say Madonna's a fucking serial killer and come up with just as many, I'm sure. But
That's what I'm
man,
saying.
bro, some of them you're like, oh, Jesus, that's really, really odd. Like really odd.
How many of them would you say are like really, really close to being like, do you think it's like really high probability it could have been him?
I mean, I'd say,
first of all, how many total are in the book?
I want to say the combination of the two, over 200.
Over 200.
So we're talking about 120 missing persons and 90 unsolved homicides.
Okay. And out of all of those, which ones do you think are, how many of them do you think are like really, 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 really high probability?
Maybe 10. And I mean stuff like Garth Brooks has a bar, body.
Let's say it's a Jane Doe or a John Doe, and it's a missing person, and they haven't connected them yet. I wonder how many of those there are.
I'm sorry, friends in low places in Nashville. About less than a mile away, there's a homeless person that ends up disappearing. The body's found half a mile away
A homeless
from Garth's bar.
Mm.
You know,
a homeless person.
And Garth, by the way, lives not far from there. He's got like I forget what it's called, Blue Ridge Estates or something. He's built this massive house where he and Trisha Yearwood live. Listen, there's so many. There's one where they park. There's a convoy of trucks, right? Like 18-wheelers that stop at a rest stop. Garth Brooks is going from this state to this state. He has to go along this route. There are 18-wheelers that are parked at a rest stop. There's a young girl who's traveling to school. She travels the same route.
That you actually have some solid information.
He pulls over at the rest stop, parks there, disappears. She's never seen again. Her mother calls and says, listen, calls the highway patrol and says, listen, she never showed up to school. The next day, they find her car at the rest stop. They ask a bunch of witnesses, and the witnesses say, yeah, I remember her. She was speaking to a guy who was 6 foot tall, had brown hair, about in his mid-30s, same age Garth was at the time. And they said that guy was somehow connected to a bunch of an 18-wheeler. I think he was either in the truck or had some kind of connection. He was connected to this truck, and then the girl disappears. And you think, okay, that's pretty odd. But what's really odd is that the girl's body was found like 2 states over a week later on the side of the road on another highway that Garth's convoy had to travel to his next spot.
Whoa.
I mean, the convoy knew, or at least some of them did. Someone had to know. That's what that would mean. So it's a big allegation.
So super, super odd. Very odd, right? Right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. and there's a lot of them where it's just like, hey, 2 miles away from where he was performing,
Mm-hmm.
somebody disappeared. 4 miles away from where he was at the Grammy Awards,
Right.
somebody was
Who else was at the Grammys? That's not very valid. But I mean, I know that's what you're saying with that argument, but still, like, that very much so defeats your argument. You leave in maybe 50 cases that might be solid whenever you say something like that.
found choked to death or shot.
Mm-hmm.
Here, like there's those which seem random until you start adding up the numbers.
And then how do the police? How is it possible that there's never been any sort of evidence or DNA linking back to him? Like how could he sort of get the police to cover for him in all of these instances?
People were taken hostage. So when I say taken hostage, they were, I don't know if you want to say kidnapped, whatever. They're in the car. A boyfriend and girlfriend are in a car. Someone forces them to go driving. At some point during the drive, what is he? Is he taking them out to the woods to kill the two of them? Is he? Who knows? But they're driving with someone in the backseat.
That makes sense.
At some point, the boyfriend gets shot. The girlfriend's driving.
Ricky,
So the boyfriend gets shot.
Ricky.
The girlfriend panics, pulls the car over, jumps out and runs. She gets shot several times. And they find her body, 30
Ricketta.
yards away. She's been shot a bunch of times, several times. Then the car is set on fire. Most likely, why would he set the car on fire? She's already got a body here and a body here because there probably was DNA. So whoever this is, they're very apt at covering their tracks. They're not leaving semen. They're not leaving blood. And if there is blood, it looks to me like they're aware of it and taking measure to try and get rid of it. And keep in mind too, a lot of these are 20 some odd years ago, 30 years. This is dates back to the 90s. So, maybe there's evidence, maybe there's not evidence. I don't know. Are they finding Garth's CDs at the scene? I don't know. It's possible. I'm just trying to do God's work here.
Well, I wonder what would happen if you searched like Reddit or something online and be like best evidence for Garth Brooks murder or homicide, and like see what people come up on the internet. Like I wonder if there's any like clips or any more interesting like interview tidbits or like find some sort of connection here.
First of all, you want to see the book?
Yeah.
So this is the book cover. Don't show the back of the book because it's fucked up. Just the front.
A serious examination into the allegation. Is Garth Brooks a serial?
There's always a book involved. There's always a book involved. There's always a book involved. And he just said it himself. I don't know. How would I know? You wrote a book about it. You trying to sell a book, but you don't know.
Killer. Bodies in Low Places by Matthew B. Cox and Pierre Rossini. Killer. Bodies in...
There's the back of it since you want to be all extra.
Low Places by Matthew B. Cox and Pierre Rossini.
So that's the cover.
God damn.
Yeah, half the book is really just the research.
200 pages.
Well, the first half is the tarot. So here's the funny thing.
Where's the chapter outline?
In the front.
What's funny, Steve?
That's where all the...
I was going to say, where
they all are.
I put it in the middle of the...
Well, why can't I find it?
Turn it.
Prologue. Then what goes to 1.
Oh, really?
There's no fucking chapter outline here.
Ah, what the... Oh, I think the... Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's because these are the printed versions. I typically... Yeah, you're...
Lee, you're telling me Garth Brooks is a serial killer of over 200 bodies?
You're right. Oh, well, whatever. Listen.
Listen.
So this is the version of the book.
Mm-hmm.
This is the photo that I wasn't allowed to use.
Who said you weren't allowed to use it?
the bearded lawyer.
Okay.
So, well, you know, he looked at the book, he heard about, told he had said the copyright.
Sure.
So,
Right.
like the 200,000. He's like, that's
Hey,
his
that'd
own.
be great.
This was the original.
Ah, that's incredible.
I like that one.
Wow.
Now, this by the way, this was
Yeah, he's gonna make a meme out of sitting here talking shit on Garth Brooks. The dance we share. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. You want your little click, your little 2 seconds of fame. Don't do that.
this is actually the
Face with him.
with Garth, right? The blood splatter,
Yeah.
blood spot, which I thought was nice. It's a nice little. I just think he's like it's obviously it's satiric, but
Yeah.
listen, it's a lot of fun, and my goal is to get on Tom Segura, right? Especially if you actually went through the book. If people Paris just like so and
Mm.
All right, so there's like a clip of the of
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's just doing it to do. I'm just trying to get on this show because I want some attention.
Garth saying that he wants to be a bad
Said it to this dude, Danny Jones Locker, bro. Said it straight to his face. That's disrespectful. You're not good enough. I want to get on that show.
guy, right? A little update again, and they said they might be going crazy, but if you list the dates of some of these murders, which is the Lady Bird Lake murders, was
schedule.
yeah, there's a whole thing. So somebody took this and they did the same thing
With
with
Tom.
Tom Segura.
That's
But
funny.
that's the whole thing. It's confirmation bias. You could do the same thing with Madonna. Anybody who's got a mass.
Well, I mean, he definitely is an odd duck.
Yeah, definitely.
There's
But,
definitely.
don't be hating on Garth Brooks, bro. They tripping. Like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all let me know what y'all think about Garth. Besides the fact that he's a legend, we all know that. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.